Hey guys, welcome back to Cali Brick Clique. I am here with my buddies SHYtime is my time, and Ninja Brick Ninja.
Yo.
Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about censorship, both politically and also within the Lego community and Lego corporate. And then we're going to touch on the Lego ideas, like the fan voting that everyone's been talking about recently. So, inauguration, that was today.
I didn't watch a lot of it. I don't know. Did any of you dive into Trump's speech yesterday or him leaving? I will say, though, he knows how to do a proper salute for a president. I will give him that. Like,
I agree.
I saw that clip that some of my friends sent me of him going to Air Force One, the helicopter version of it. I didn't like when he let Ivanka go up and then the Marine was saluting him. Like the way he postured his body and then did the salute was like clean.
That was proper.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like wow.
Okay, good.
But I mean, like I've seen presidents do like some half-ass ones, and like his was like a standing like American veteran salute, and I was like, huh,
interesting.
It took you this long for me to be like to give you some more respect than needed.
Unexpected.
So I was just like, huh, that's
funny.
Did you watch like the highlights reel? Like one of my favorite things about social media, what it's done to politics, it's done a lot of really awful things, but one thing it's done is highlight reels for speeches and things like that, and you can like very quickly go back and watch things in 2 times the speed and get an intake of the debate or whatever it is. And quickly.
Am I the only one that doesn't do that? The 2 times speed thing?
I
feel like I don't do it. I watch videos that
I just started doing it.
Once you dive into that, it's like it's hard to get out of it because now you just see like, oh, I get all this information quickly.
It depends what the video is. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna listen to like Ninja on double speed. I think that would be outrageous.
I'm about to say that's like outrageous.
I probably have to listen to him like at 0.75 or something so I can
slow it down.
So quick. Yeah.
Chopped and screwed. No.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't listen to like any of our friends or anything like that at double speed. It's usually like a podcast. So if you are listening to this double speed, I'm okay with it as long as you're listening to double speed. That's okay.
As long as you're listening fast.
Exactly. You just got to make it to the end. So yeah, okay. So the inauguration was today. It was obviously, at least for me, emotional to see Kamala Harris up there. I don't necessarily align with her politics 100%, but just seeing a woman up there and then like with her family, it's really, really impactful. And it's cool. I kind of wish my mom was around to like see that. I think that would have really
As someone who's from San Francisco, wasn't she by your area or in your area?
Very much so. Yeah.
You've seen her like progress from lawyer to her like vice president now today, as of today.
Yeah. She's always been.
So has she always been the same way, or have you seen her progressively change?
No, I don't. I mean, I think she's been
politically or like the way she stands for stuff. So she's genuine with who she is right now.
No. I mean, I think she. Okay, if we're gonna get into her politics, I think she kind of swings in either direction, whatever makes sense for her at the time, and I think that's kind of been consistent with her. But that's like a whole deep dive topic, and a lot of California Democrats actually do that. That's very like typical, in my opinion, as to like I think I wouldn't be surprised if our current leader in California is going to come out of this being like, I was the #1 lead in COVID. I was the first to shut down San Francisco and LA, blah, 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 blah. Like, we did such a great, I mean, obviously like the numbers are the worst here, but I could see Gavin Newsom coming out of this and being like, maybe I'm going to run for president in 4 years or something like that. Anyway.
Do you vote for him? You don't have to answer that question. You don't have to answer that question.
I don't know. I'm on the other side. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you're a fan of him, but
I didn't vote for him. I'm not happy with some of the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
I get it. I just think he's in a really hard place because I feel like I know California's a very liberal state for the most part, but there are a lot of people who aren't.
The entire belt down the middle is red. The entire thing.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like he's doing what he has to do and what he believes is right.
Yeah.
But he's pissing a lot of other people off just because of the political climate that we're currently in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how people view him with the current administration going around.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I feel like he's going to come out on top, though. That's like kind of my guess, and I do
I
think
hope
that.
so.
Yeah, he's a true politician, and that's like the reason why a lot of people like him in comparison to Trump, and why so many people like Trump in comparison. And not that they're like one-to-one correlation, but especially in California, that rhetoric does come up all the time. People are like, look at Gavin Newsom, look at the way he's talking and the way he's presenting himself relative to our president. You know, that's the kind of person that we want to see. But that's because a lot of the people here on the left want to see a politician. They don't want to see like a typical run-of-the-mill businessman, which is theoretically what Trump kind of is presenting as himself, like a nationalistic businessman, you know?
Yeah.
So
Cool.
okay.
Roger that.
But let's so Biden was inaugurated, Trump wasn't there, Pence was there, but let's like rewind.
That was also an
Trump wasn't
agreement that that they both agreed on, that like Trump said he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Biden said that's totally fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It wasn't like a diss to Biden. It was more Trump's own
I'm not showing up to your birthday party.
I mean, that's a whole community and social dynamic that I could not even comprehend. But let's like rewind back like a couple weeks to censorship, and when Trump was eliminated from all these different social media platforms that all of us use, especially here on YouTube as active members of this community. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about Trump being shut off and
from like Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, as a president, I think you should not really be on Twitter, but it does kind of go against the like freedom of speech, right?
But these are private platforms. They have every right to censor whoever they want. It's not
absolutely.
You know
But why
what I
are
mean?
they choosing now? You know, he basically came into office using these platforms. Like he never paid the standard fees and bills or whatever to like standard media sources to get his word out there. It was essentially like a free ride for him to get there, and it was so impactful.
Was he the first president to actually use social media like that though?
Yeah. He's the first president to jump on Twitter, and the government was unable to take that away from him.
Yeah. Like Obama, when he you know, moved into the White House, he gave up his BlackBerry at the time.
BlackBerry. Does anyone know what a BlackBerry is?
It's like a so he ended up, it's like a phone with a full keyboard on it physically. So he ended up
type like that.
Palm Pilot type.
I used to be so fast. I used to be so fast.
I never had a BlackBerry. I'm used to typing. Remember with just the phone, like a Nokia, like phone or a Razr.
Was it T9? Like the
the ones that you like put right
T9,
next to each other and just have them vibrate and dance.
Yeah. I remember that.
From like the early 2000s.
No, I totally remember that.
Like that.
Yes, it was so stupid. I remember
off the digits, like
with the pressure 3 times.
You know what I mean? Like
yes, exactly. It's like you know that to get to the T, you have to press like the 1 3 times. Like you know how to do that.
People were fast too.
Dude, no one can. I bet you none of these kids know how to do that. Like
but look at you. You're wearing a brace on your wrist. You probably have arthritis from doing that.
Was this from mail? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Tendinitis.
I hold a mail kind of hard, like this, right? So I balance my flats like right here, like the magazines and the mail, and then the chunk of mail, like I hold it all together like that. And I shouldn't be doing that. Well, I shouldn't be doing this. Like the OGs are like, hey, one, don't have like gorilla chunks of mail that you're gripping onto, and don't bend so much. Like just let it. Just relax,
because you're putting force like probably
so much tension on this right here that it's just painful, and this has been painful for like 2 months. Like it's pretty bad.
Shai's like, watch out, oh man, I got this.
What is that? Carpal tunnel tendinitis kind of stuff?
Some sort of tendinitis.
Tennis elbow of sorts. Does it hurt like back here?
It hurts like right here. Oh, right here, and it shoots down this way and this way. So the doctor said it's. Huh?
Have you gone to physical therapy or anything for it?
I haven't yet because of COVID. So I went to my doctor's office. I wasn't able to see my own physician, but then like another one was like, hey, this is this. He mentioned all this crap. I'm like, okay. And then he just said, you know, wear this brace. Here's some meds. If it worsens, come back. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come back because of COVID. So it's still crappy. So we'll see how I do the next
If
2 weeks.
I were you, I would like reach out to a physical therapist. You could do like a digital session, you know what I mean? And then sometimes I have like a screw in my wrist and I have a lot of problems. I've had like tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, and I have like early onset arthritis. So
Damn.
I'm like,
if B-Fab was here right now, him and Sam would be making fun of us for how old we are.
I know.
Boomer
I know.
energy.
Except I injured myself in my like when I was text age or something. I was like 24. So this is what happens when you don't take care of yourself when you're like a young kid. But regardless, let's get back to censorship and talk a little. Yeah,
Where were we?
I want to bring us full circle, back to
Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, because I think this is some pretty heavy shit, and that like we're kind of getting into it now.
Well, you gotta also remember that the president isn't. Yeah, it's freedom of speech, but when you're if you're in office, you're entrusted with a lot of top secret information, and that's why like these rioters who pillage their way into the Capitol building. That's why it's different from raiding the local mall. There's a lot of sensitive information there that has to come from not only the Pentagon, but law stuff that's the top of our federal government. Like there's a lot of things that people just should not know. And for the president, he's entrusted with not necessarily nuclear codes, but like things that can do some damage as far as what he says. You know what I mean? He can literally just say the world's going to end tomorrow and everybody would freak out.
That's true. Words are powerful.
Okay, so like let's even like separate the fact that he's the president. Okay, let's look at it because he's a businessman. Let's look at it like it's a company, right? He is like, I'm such a good president because I'm gonna operate the US like a company. Well, what company that's like a Fortune 500 do you know of a CEO or CFO or CTO that's tweeting regularly that doesn't have an entire team of branding and PR specialists that are protecting them from having a negative impact on the company? So if you're looking at the US as like a public face, then it needs the same kind of backing and it's always had that. That's why there's speechwriters. And like that, he has all of those things. But anyway, the point is, it helped him. And I think they should have done it a while ago. I think if they were going to censor it, they should have done it when there were ramifications to him for them.
We also got to remember that people have to bring up the whole free speech thing. But your First Amendment doesn't give you the right to say whatever you want wherever you want. Like you can't just go into a movie theater and say fire when there's no fire. And claim freedom of speech. No, you're inciting disorder. Like freedom of speech does not cover you just saying whatever you want.
How about defamation? That's not freedom of speech. Doesn't work like that. How about false advertising? That's not free. I mean, like what? I mean, like people misconstruing like freedom of speech into some kind of like absolute total like anarchy in a way.
Yeah,
that's a good word. Misconstrued. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, going back to what you were saying, they should have. They should have like stopped him from getting on Twitter from the very beginning.
As being the president, they should make it like
it's unprofessional, and you're entrusted with information that should not be shared with the public.
So how about like future presidents?
Well, I mean, I stand the same way. Like I think this is a good learning for a new generation or all of our generations to pretty much just like figuring out like social media isn't like something that should be entrusted with everybody.
So do you think, we live in like a free economy theoretically, right? Even though it's not really, but people think it is. So that's fine. As long as they have
the idea of it. Let's just say the idea of it.
Yeah. Let's say we live in that and it's, it's capitalism at its truest form. Is it truly the responsibility of a private company owned by individuals to censor the government? Why isn't it and putting themselves at risk and in danger? Like, or other people, you know what I mean? So people can go and like point fingers at these, individuals that work at these companies, like, the hatred that like Mark Zuckerberg receives or any of these like basically they're like dehumanized the way that the president is. Do you know what I mean? Is that fair? Because
I mean, so you got to think about it this way. These companies are like individuals who have the right to do whatever they please or feel is right for them, right? Mm-hmm. So by not necessarily the president being on Twitter might not be the best thing, they allowed it to happen. I think this was like their final like, okay, this we need to like just stop because now we're we're providing this fire, and they want to distance themselves. That's why we saw a lot of Republicans kind of be like, okay, this is now the time where we should like distance ourselves because this president's about to leave. We do not want to be affiliated with someone that is inciting, or not necessarily, he didn't really incite, he led the fire, a riot into the Capitol building, making it look like a whole coup was happening.
But I mean, I feel like it's not really their fault. It should be like the president's team, you know, like they're the ones that kind of said to use it, right? They said to make a Twitter to get him out there more like that. It should have been them to be like, we don't need Twitter. We have to do this a different way, because that's like social media is just not the way.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, if you got to look at it, anyone who had dissent with how Trump wanted to do things left. So he had a bunch of yes men in his circle.
See, that's bad.
You know what I mean? Like, let's look at General Mattis, right? The Secretary of Defense. General Mattis, to every Marine listening or out there, is a god to us. We have so much he's one of those Marines that, like, officers that would lead from the front, that like no general does that nowadays. They lead from the back. He will walk in and be like, he literally pulled out a lieutenant colonel and be like, what are you doing on this side of the bridge? You need to be on the other side right now. You have an entire army waiting for you to move across. As he's getting shot at. This is not someone like, this is a man you respect, and the entire Marine Corps respects this man. He is called, like, his moniker is Mad Dog Mattis, which he hates. He hates that sound. Like, he hates that nickname. But Trump used it and pulled him in to be his Secretary of Defense, which is also unheard of because he just retired out of the military not long ago. So the Senate literally had to grill him and be like, are you sure this is what you wanted to do? Because he needs some time away. He needs to be civilian before he can.
Right. He has to, like, you know, come back to.
Exactly. So Trump really wanted, and beside the fact, the reason why I was also happy with that is because Mattis was an Obama supporter. And one of the aspects of why he came here is just to make sure Trump doesn't do anything stupid.
Right.
But as Trump was moving along with his, like, what he wanted to do as far as defense and foreign politics, he was like, I can't do this anymore. I quit.
Yeah,
he's not listening to me. I obviously don't know anything and have no experience here, so I'm just gonna, you know what, screw you.
I'm gonna exit the situation. Yeah.
And he said some pretty crazy things. Not crazy. He said some pretty good things during this whole, well, not good writing about what was happening with the last couple of weeks that he made public. So definitely take a look at that. I can't pull it up, and I don't remember the exact contents. I just remember that's my general. Some
good statements coming from his direction.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the people who are allowing him to be on Twitter are just all yes men. So they're gonna fight for whatever Trump wants, anyways. How much turnover was there in his own cabinet? It was a lot.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it's just like, if you look at, like, if it was a company, that's not a good thing. That doesn't show a sign of, like, a healthy space.
There's no loyalty, whatever.
Well, what do you guys think about censorship on, like, the YouTube platform? Like, do you think, like, freedom of speech should be allowed to all of us? Like, should we be going and trolling and saying whatever the F we want to absolutely everybody? Like, commenting, like, on videos and just, you know, dehumanizing people, like, once they get up to a certain sub count, you know, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I mean, YouTube already censors a lot enough as it is. Like, there's people at Google who consistently look at content looking for things like, you know,
child pornography,
explicit material, beheadings, terrorism, anything like that. So we're already in a censored platform. We might not think it, but there is. And when we look at it, like, you know, when you look at your comments that are held for review, that's censorship in a way.
It is. I haven't had it yet, but yeah.
Have you checked?
Yeah, I keep checking it.
Yeah. Are you like, do you want to see it? Like, I just had someone literally comment on one of my videos like 3 hours ago saying, "Shut up, baby killer," or something like that. And that didn't show my stuff because obviously baby killer together was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
don't tell for review. But I still see the comment come up in my notifications. So I'm like, okay, screw you. But I moved on. Like, so YouTube already has that, and Google already has that censorship already in place.
Even if it's not like that though, I get the messages of the, like, the spam messages, like, oh, cool video, come check this out, or you know, you want to be YouTube friends, that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah, I get a lot on Instagram. Yeah, I get all the bot stuff on Instagram. But, like, why is it the responsibility of these companies, like of Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, to censor that? Because at the end of the day, you know, I think what's happening is a lot of these companies, including our government, is catching up to the technology that we have now. And to be honest, social media has been around for a really long time, and they're probably...
Who remembers MySpace and Friendster?
Exactly. And AIM. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't even want to tell you what my name was. It was so embarrassing. It made absolutely no sense. I can't do that. It's very weird. But outside of that, you know...
Mine was The Lazy Boy Says.
Damn, okay.
That's better than mine. Mine was...
You know what I mean? Because like on AAM, you have like the texting field. It says The Lazy Boy Says hi. So stupid.
There was... You weren't original with that. There was a lot of people that were like, says, whatever.
I know there's a lot. I know.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of them were like, oh, I don't even...
I spelled the with DA.
Well, you were cool. I guess. Is that what the term is? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about those like kind of comments that we're getting from people and like how we're supposed to react to it. So let's say, you know, we're kind of younger YouTubers, right? We have like a handful of, you know, even between the three of us, we have a variation, but it's still pretty low, right? So let's say we get up to 300,000+ or even like 20,000.
At Ryan level.
Like Ryan level, exactly. Or Jang level. Who knows like what kind of weird comments he gets. But you know, what are we supposed to do?
I would just ignore it. That's all I can say, really. It's your focus that determines your reality. So if you focus on the hate, then you're gonna think you're hated. But if you focus on the positive, then
it's really hard to focus.
But that is true.
You could get 1,000 beautiful comments saying that you're the best thing on earth, but you get that one person to be a dick and just be like, you just hone in on that and be like, like today, like my example that I just mentioned right now, like I had a lot of comments on just a variety of videos, not just the one that tanked today, but like, you know, from the past couple of videos or the past couple of weeks, and this person decided to post what he posted, and I just couldn't stop not thinking about that.
Do you think it's because it's in that certain area though that you had to check it out? You're like, oh, what's this?
No,
being held for review?
I didn't know it was held for review.
It was,
until I went onto the comment actual section and see it's not there.
That's
and then
an awful thing to say to somebody. I think the person that says something like that, I can say so many different words about, like
keyboard warriors, man.
Yeah, keyboard warriors. I mean, it's stuff that no one would say to you, like in person.
Yeah,
like that's one thing. Like I look at trolls with like such disdain. I'm like, I guarantee you have no balls to ever say that to me if you saw me down the street.
Not even you. Even if it was just like a little girl, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even say that. People don't say those kinds of things to other human beings, particularly adults. I think children, you know, like middle school age, they're kind of awful to each other, but not even like that. That is, it is a viciousness that I think the government needs to be involved in. And this is probably like a totally polarizing.
You're talking about like bullying in general?
Yeah, like so I watched this TV show. It was on Amazon Prime. I think I might have mentioned it to you guys before, but it's called Upload. And it came out like I think at the beginning of COVID, at the beginning of the year. And anyway, I think they're going to have a second season. But there was this like the whole idea of it is that if you are of like a certain percentage of wealth, you can essentially upload your consciousness to a software to an AI that is the afterlife. So you continue living in an AI form, and you can still, you know, communicate with like your loved ones that are still alive, and then all the other people. Yeah, it's a crazy concept. So your body it dies, you know, it starts to rot essentially, and then but your consciousness is existing somewhere else, theoretically, in a computer. There was this one line that was said that was like blah, blah, blah before the anti-trolling laws were enforced. So, and it's constantly like this. New technology is released, new pharmaceuticals are released. The government comes in, forms their regulations years and decades later, and then ends up controlling the situation once it gets completely out of hand. So it's going to happen. However it is, you know, obviously that's like what's happening now with COPA and what is it like I don't even remember the name of it, but all these bills that are trying to be passed to have control over this. And it's going to happen where it is unacceptable for, I hope, these people to say things like that to others. I really hope that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically harassment, right? Like
you can You can't legally do stuff about anything that's that people say if you could provide evidence that is causing harm whatsoever. But is anyone going to waste their time going going through the courts with that? That costs serious money, and the court's already backlogged as it is. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not worth the effort.
I mean, it's messed up to think about it, but like, we're coming at it as adults. Like, what if it's younger kids? They don't really comprehend it like that.
But were you bullied as a kid?
I wouldn't say I was bullied. I was more just to myself, though. Like,
quiet.
I was a loner, I would say.
I mean,
I wasn't really bullied.
Probably avoided that. I mean, do you think that was a reaction to avoiding getting bullied? Like seeing, I mean, I totally got bullied for being too tall, or having a certain body type, or being athletic, or having a weird accent, or my mom got in a car accident and she was wearing like a neck brace. Got made fun of that one. Kids are so stupid.
Kids are cruel. But I mean, kids are cool because they don't know any better.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're behaving.
They all see, a good chunk of that has to do with what they're taught. You know what I mean? Like, you're taught to hate. You're not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but a stay-at-home miserable wife who married her high school sweetheart, who probably like reads shades of.
Hey, I married my high school sweetheart.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, you guys are happy and you've evolved and you're adults together, or whatever. No, but
there's
anyway.
levels. There's levels.
But you know what I mean. There's like the person that reads 50 Shades of Grey, because that's like the most heat that they're gonna get for the rest of their lives. Ouch. That person is online commenting and hating on people.
It's definitely much easier to like. To hate right now, and make your stupid opinions known.
It's like venting, honestly.
Very easy. And I know venting it's healthy sometimes, and sometimes when you vent and you rant, you say things that you're not supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, maybe I should take that back.
And then like playing devil's advocate, it could be like they're not really even meaning it like that. They're just saying something, but
a lot of the times people don't mean it like that. A lot of people don't realize the value of their words.
Exactly, because like the way you read it, you're gonna be like, whoa, why would they even say that?
Absolutely.
But to them, they're just like putting random words together, like, oh, this is funny.
Blah, 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 type. And so, and I think people, even in the Lego community, have a lot of those. People have overreactions to things. They get really upset when people post X, Y, and Z, or don't fall within the parameters of their expectations. Especially like, people with big followings, they've idolized these people and dehumanized them, and they're not allowed to falter in any way, shape, or form, or have their own opinions, and they just have to follow that path. And even with like the new like Lego ideas that are coming up, like all these, like, there's so many different, like, castles, space, whatever, all these things. People are losing their minds over
bonkers.
Which one is defining, like, Lego history or Lego classics or whatever it means. You know what I mean? People are so emotional about it.
I like your segue there. So we're going to take a break with our heaviness talk, and we're going to dive right into that.
Okay,
lighten the load a little bit.
Let's unload. Let's unload.
Let's look at some classics
before we get back.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta be honest though.
Wow, I can never do that.
You liked it? Okay, good.
That was perfect.
Kudos.
All right.
I was actually looking at all the options, and to be honest, because I started getting into Lego, it had to be late 90s, I would say.
Mm-hmm. All right, first off, before we get into this, like let's say what this is, because I know there's maybe one or two people that have no idea what this is.
Okay. Do you want to share the screen and I'll show you, and then Ninja's going to talk to us about his life story.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
There we go.
Okay, you guys can see it?
Yeah.
Great. All right. So basically, we get to vote as fans to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Lego group. And they essentially grouped together or like picked a bunch of different, what they quote as a classic theme to be reimagined as a single new product for 2022. So not this year, but next year. And so we get to vote on 3 of them. And then I think there's going to be another vote. Because that's in general what's going on. So Ninja, tell us about
what got me is, since I came in kind of later, all these themes that I see, they just look the same to me.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's a new one. I'm really curious.
I mean,
can you elaborate on that? Or?
Well, like they have the castles split up and everything, and like, I don't know, they just seem similar.
Oh man, you're
Like
gonna
this,
get
you stop
overtaken for
scrolling, but
that.
yeah, I know I'm not
They're about
gonna
to get
get,
canceled right now, dude.
Yeah,
but it's all good. It's
By
all
all
good.
the AFOLs in the community.
you're gonna
But like I
cancel
said,
my channel.
I'm still a baby AFOL, man. I came in the
That's true.
90s, so all this stuff was like, not my steez, but
That's true. It's true. But I mean, I'm curious, like, as we're going through these, which ones are you interested in seeing? Is it a nostalgia thing
Damn.
or is it just a simple interest? So, okay. Trains. Anyone here want trains to come to fruition?
I want the Santa Fe train. That's like the only train that's out there that I really want.
Interesting.
do you think
Aside
they'll
from
do that?
I don't know. Is it an option?
I don't think so. It's just
So
trains.
for those of you that also don't know, you choose a theme and then there's a sub theme that you could also select, right?
Yes.
So is
You
that an
can-
option though?
I think you
don't-
could type in your own theme also.
So
you can type in suggestions?
I haven't voted yet. So
I
mean,
either.
I'm curious. Let's see. I mean, maybe my
See,
vote. Will be...
I have a reason why I'm not voting is because I think Lego already knows what they're going to
That's
do.
what I think too.
Oh, so you're not going to vote at all?
What's the point when it's rigged? The
See, I
voting's
feel
rigged.
I feel like that's
is
why
it your
they split.
civic duty as a Lego community member to
Right.
vote.
I'll vote.
To vote. Vote or die.
I'll vote. Vote or die.
See, I feel the same thing. I feel like that's why they split up Castle into like 6 different, castle themes. Like,
They're going to do
Yeah.
Castle. Just
Yeah.
which one are they going to do?
Okay,
Right.
let's get into this.
That's the
Trains, I don't
question.
think it's going to happen. They come out with trains every single year. The train people are
Yeah,
going to
they
lose their shit. It's
they
cool.
still do trains. Yeah.
Yeah, they still do trains. And I love trains, and I still get all the trains. But
So
anyway,
when they go, not to like skip right over this, but
Yeah.
just to make fun of it. So trains. So if they do a classic trains, are they going back to 9 volt?
I don't. That
Is
would
it
be
going to save
cool.
power functions?
That would be interesting, is like taking the classic style and then adding and doing it with
You know
power
what I mean?
functions.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
Bluetooth.
Or maybe they introduce a completely new way to.
Is monorail included in trains?
Hmm. Well, I think they
Right?
would have said
I
monorail.
thought
Though.
monorail was like part of one of the space themes. I don't know why. I thought
Why I
that.
gotta say that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
going
Let's
down.
Go. Let's
it's
go
going
to.
down in
Okay.
the comments.
Does anyone want towns? I mean, for goodness sakes.
See,
other
that's what
than-
I'm saying.
than
Look,
the old fogies. Like, who else wants this?
I'm not hating on the classic stuff, but I mean, like,
It's primary colors. There's literally black, white, yellow,
yeah.
red, and blue, and one kind of blue.
That's why they make city now. They evolved into city.
It's true. It's true. We already have that. Also, someone's gonna hate on me for not calling
Who's
it.
voting for town? Who's
I
voting?
am not. I think the people who are voting for town are probably 50 plus, I would guess.
Damn.
Damn.
What? Because it's what
shade,
they
no
played with. Sorry. Okay.
I had a lot of those sets, but I don't want it to come back.
Okay. Well, that's telling. Okay, space.
No shade to the fools.
I like space, so
Don't you think it's gotten its own set of being rebooted, and especially with like
Not like
Penny
this.
coming into Lego Movie? No.
Not
That's
like-
true, they
Yeah,
had
I
the
mean,
bang
I
spaceship.
see that, but not like this. Like there's a like the theme of space. There's
But we have Star Wars, for goodness sake. Like,
Hey,
come on.
hey, Lego space fans would say that is not the same, and it is not the same.
it's not. It's a total. This is like the original theme outside of Castle. Like
It is. I do. I think when people
there's so
even,
much
like,
out there. Space
AFOLs,
police. Like
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully,
Okay.
I got my
Oh,
points
yeah.
back with that statement.
Well, they didn't they didn't break this down like they did with the castle. So let's start with the first of the many castle themes. So here we go.
The
Cheese
many castle
I'm
themes.
sorry.
I'm
Classic.
voting for this.
This
Cheese
one,
castle.
the yellow cheese castle,
No, they should not do that.
the
They
cheese
should not do
casserole.
that. You can make that out of your own parts for very cheap.
That's what I think. Yeah. What are you getting it for? Like the minifigures? Like
Yeah,
would-
and
would
all
that
the
be?
shield.
Yeah, but
pieces.
they can do something different with them.
True, they
and the kingdoms are all different.
Okay.
and
Okay.
they're not really. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think we're in consensus with cheese castle. Okay.
No,
Lion
cheese
Knight.
casserole.
Okay.
No, I'm not. That wasn't my time with Lion Knights. I think that's a little older for all,
It
for
is.
all of us.
It's a little
We
older.
were babies when this was
Agreed. Yeah. How about Black Falcons? This
out.
doesn't.
We just had Black Falcons come out with the blacksmith shop.
It's true. And it's almost like a more refined version of it, higher level of detail, references to all the shields. It's good. Model team.
True.
I don't know this one at all,
That's
but I
creator
have
expert.
heard.
That's-
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's a good
Why is
point.
that there? Is it out of order for a reason, or I don't know?
Oh, that's true. It's like outside of all the castle ones. Maybe they
Yeah,
just like wanted they didn't want all of them to blend together. I don't know. It seems I don't know what intern put this together.
there's so many
Forest
castles.
Or it's the Robin Hoods. I
Yeah.
wasn't a fan of them younger. I don't care for them now.
Interesting. I might be voting for this one.
I
Oh,
want
really?
like the Dragon Knights to come
So
back.
the
Or
reason
the
I
black-
want Dragon Knights is because
Yeah.
I want those pieces. It's either this or
The
Dragon.
helmets,
Yeah.
those like dragon helmets, I think were
Classic,
like awesome.
yes.
Yeah, but horsies.
But they were also really they also had the prettiest. Why did I say prettiest?
Hey.
I'm still stuck in my Instagram video right now. Well,
Hey.
You are. Yeah.
That, shit-
So-
that stuff was pretty.
it was pretty.
Okay, Blacktron. I
That
didn't
was
know
outside.
what this was,
time.
and I was ashamed.
We were
of it.
also babies, I think, when this was out.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, someone
This
just
was my
a wee
first
lad.
castle set.
you
Yeah,
have
right
this
there.
set?
I had this set.
Oh, this was in the RIP.
Oh yeah, that's with the raised
Yeah.
base plate, huh? Like
The Black Knight's castle was my first
This
large Lego set.
I think isn't this like $700 or $800 now?
You can get it used for like $400.
Oh, casual, cheap change. Okay,
a pirate ship.
so this is when I
pirate
started-
ship.
Yeah, we did. We're not going to get pirates. We got Pirates of Barracuda Bay, but this is when I started really getting into this. These are my first Lego sets. Is pirates
Okay.
and Imperials, which is
I love
awesome.
Imperials. Yeah.
Imperials is cool because it's
I love
the
Red coats.
breakdown and yeah, it's so cool. Okay, Space Police.
Yes.
Interesting. That was a very
Fresh.
I mean, I'm not voting for that, but I like that theme.
which is why you're collecting those
Well, this is
CMS.
the reason why. Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I found 2 of them.
Oh,
The hardest ones
right.
to find. I got 2 of them. And I ordered more on Bricklink. I need people to like my riot. That BFAB incited in my city. They need
Yeah.
some serious backup. I literally did a Bricklink order of just cops.
Oh my
Like,
god!
all these
just
random
dropped it
police
down.
officers.
Oh.
Backing up the force. Dang. Okay.
They need it. They need it. You know.
I see BFAB's the leader, right? So.
Well, yeah.
Oh wait. I don't
Instigator.
want to spoil anything though.
Okay, who is voting for Mtron is what I want to know. I haven't heard a single
Outside our
person
time.
talk about it.
Outside our time, we have no nostalgia like to this.
No, what are they glow in the dark like plastic pieces? Like what is
I like
going
those
on?
parts.
Yeah.
I like the windshield thing, but I mean, I don't build too many spaceships though, so
I know. Like, would you actually buy it? Okay, Wolfpack.
no.
I wasn't a fan of them as a kid either. I would use them as bad guys fighting like my Royal Knights. If you
Oh,
know.
interesting. That makes sense. Okay, here's
go
one of my
Dragon Knights.
favorites. This is one of my favorites. That someone's going to try to tell me that Friends is satiated by this, but it is not.
No, it's totally.
No,
I had a
this
friend-
is
I had a childhood
Miami
friend.
Vice. Yeah.
She loved this, and like she had like all the Paradisa sets, and I had all like the pirates stuff, and we would go to war, and she would lose because she had nothing to fire back with.
I'll just say this is better
She
than
had a
Friends.
cocktail to offer, essentially, and that's it.
I'll say Paradisa is better than Friends because those are minifigures.
They're minifigures,
That's all I'm gonna
and
say. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
didn't even realize. I went back and looked with a group of people, and apparently there's like 5 or 6 different like equestrian like stables, different associated ones with Paradisa.
I
That were
remember that.
yeah, and I
Stables,
have so
okay.
many of my female friends that's since telling them that I'm into Lego, they like started recapping like their sets, and I think a lot of them are talking about Paradisa.
Okay.
The way that so I'm gonna go with them home to Pennsylvania, find their Paradisa sets, and bring them back.
That should be a video.
Hijack.
And it's a vlog.
That
It's like
should be a vlog. Yes, searching for Paradisa sets. I mean, viral.
in my friends' basements. Okay,
Hijacking.
whatever.
Paradisa.
Dragon Knights. I think we all want
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Dragon
Look at-
Knight, like the
look at that.
Pokemon. Dragon Knight.
No, the
Love it.
dragons were dope. I mean,
Look at
they had the
that.
best helmets out of everybody.
Yeah, look at that
Oh,
guy.
the dragons.
They
though.
just look so flashy.
And Gandalf is there. It's so
yeah, the
cool.
original wizard.
Plus, if we get a new dragon mold,
That would be
fresh.
sick.
Sick. Yeah, so cool. Okay,
Ice
Ice
Planet. So this is technically my first, like, or at least should be our first, like, when we were able to comprehend what Lego was when we were kids. I think this was a theme that was space for us. I remember that. I remember being in like 3rd grade and this coming out.
I don't remember this at all. I think this was totally marketed towards boys in a way that even me,
yeah,
as a tomboy,
yeah.
couldn't even get through.
Yeah,
Aquazone, I love.
I remember this so well. I loved
But
Aquazone.
I think some of the new like underwater things are very reminiscent of it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't look at it like that. because that would apply to a lot of these sets.
It would. I mean, I'm actually thinking about picking up some of these old school Aquazone sets. That's something I might
Dude,
put on the
I literally, so at Brikx and Minifigs that I stepped into, I think last week, they had just like a row of all the set themes that were like big like when I was a kid, and I literally lost my shit.
Oh my god, you could have spent like a couple grand in just like in like 18 minutes.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. Anyways. Spy.
Okay, Spirius.
Spy. This is
let's just keep going.
Explorians.
That does look cool though.
Were they the bad guys to Explorians?
Who?
I have no idea what Explorians.
I remember Explorians. I do remember that very well. I think that was before Ice Planet.
Got it.
Yeah.
They're totally out of order, which is like really confusing.
Are they aliens in here?
Yeah.
The flying saucer? No, like remember like the bad guys I think were against like the aliens against.
Is that from this one? Is that why the end of it is Explorians? Okay.
No, they were like aliens. They had like flying saucers and like things like that. It looked pretty cool. They look like predators.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that. No.
I don't know if I remember that
this
one.
This next one though has me.
Time cruisers.
This is wacky stuff. Have you guys like looked at the story of it? This is literally one of the weirdest
hodgepodge of stuff
themes.
Yes, that.
A mixture of everything.
It's basically
explains me perfectly. No.
Like this is like I think this dude is traveling around in this boat, right? This is this like time machine.
This reminds me of all the magazines I would read with the little comic strips. I forgot that it wasn't like Lego Life. It was like an older Lego magazine.
Oh,
you guys remember that?
No, I was thinking like Mad.
It was like something like that.
Like Mad Magazine.
Yeah, no, they had a comic strip of, like every week or every month when their new magazine would come out, there was a comic strip of time cruisers going through stuff. That's the only thing I can remember of them.
But look at this. Yeah. There's like a pirate ship. Do you see that? And then there's like a haunted castle in the back. Like, just look at that artwork.
The thing is there a cult following for time cruisers? I haven't seen one.
I don't think there is.
I don't know. I could see that's making a comeback. I think people maybe will be reminded of time cruisers now just by seeing this and being like, "Oh yeah."
I would vote for it just for if they're bringing one random set back out of a theme.
That would be a very random set to choose.
That is some wacky shit. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, divers. I actually like this one a lot. I like all the underwater stuff and like the sharks and all those like pieces that would come with it.
I didn't even know this was a sub theme of town.
Don't we kind of have we have like some submarines like that right now?
We do. They look a lot like this yellow one. I think we've gotten like 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
I think this is at the top of the list. I really do. I think
love this.
Is gonna move on. I know, me too.
See, this is one I actually remember now.
I wish they showed the blimp.
Right? Oh, the Bespin blimp?
Yeah, that thing is
that was cool.
Pricey now. Okay, Extreme Team.
Yay.
Okay. But
I like this raft guide here. This guy reminds me of
I have a few of these sets.
Yeah. They're cool. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Rock Raiders. I know
I
like these. Yeah.
I was in my dark age at this point.
Oh, interesting. I feel like this is when like the people that are in their early 20s got into Lego. Like this is the beginning of them.
This is where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s type
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. Studios?
Nope.
No idea.
I think it looks cool, but
it just kind of looks like shitty monster fighters and Hidden Side and stuff like that.
Basically.
But I am probably offending somebody. All right, let's keep going. Anyway.
Whoa.
We don't need to talk about Bionicle. They're important.
Now there's something I recognize.
I'm
not you, man.
I'm not in that boat.
All right, it's a hated.
We don't want to get canceled. All right, so let's talk about Bionicle.
Straight out the gate. They're gonna cancel me, not the podcast, just me. But I'd vote for Bionicle. I want to see what they could do with it again.
You don't need to vote for Bionicle. That's the thing. This is it's like voting Democratic in California. You don't need you're.
I'm gonna laugh if this is the one that they bring back.
I bet it is.
And they're gonna go full theme.
It didn't. All right, so they brought it. They canceled it once and then they brought it back again, right? But that's when they weren't doing any marketing, right?
Yeah, that's a whole topic on itself. We can talk about.
Yeah,
I feel like it has a chance.
We would need to bring in a Bionicle expert.
We need to bring in 2 people for that one.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm no expert.
I will be doe-eyed the entire conversation.
What's exactly. Bionicle?
Okay, Arctic.
Isn't that a theme that's still out, or that was out last year?
This doesn't seem. That's not going to even go anywhere. We don't have to discuss it. And then finally, Alpha Team. I think a lot of people will
This is
vote.
BFAB's theme, right? Alpha Team.
Yeah. This is.
It's his team.
Is that BFAB right there at the bottom?
That looks like him. That looks like his team.
Yeah.
Alpha Team.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then I think to vote, you just like head over to the activity page and cast your vote.
Okay, I guess I'm going to vote because it's we should vote.
I'm gonna vote.
It's our civic duty as AFOLs.
Duty as adult fans of Lego to bring back a thing. So this is my thing. I don't think they're gonna bring back like anything 2000s and up.
It's too early.
It's too. Okay. It's not classic enough.
That's how I feel that. It's too early for a 90-year anniversary to bring something back that's 20 years ago.
Exactly. I think it has to be in that median of like, where these little kids know what those are.
Yeah.
Who are now young adults, and like who are at the same time who are people who are actual like older than us can appreciate at the same time. It's gonna have to reach all across, and I think the idea set with the blacksmith shop is a good way, and especially part of Barracuda Bay is a good way to test those waters on how well they sell.
Plus, it kind of brings up kind of like the topic in a sense. It makes them realize like, oh yeah, look, if they have the blacksmith, I wonder what else they have. And they go look at the backlog and like, oh, look at these old sets. And if they bring something new out right now,
totally
like, oh, I'm hopping on that.
Shy, exactly. Can I give up the screen?
Remove. Boop.
We're back. Cool.
We're back.
Welcome to reality.
Well, guys, I think that was pretty productive. We went through Lego history very quickly. Thank you, Lego Ideas, for setting up that timeline for us. And we have a new president.
How do you feel about that? Like, this is like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, our 6th president as being alive?
It's the 4th time we've voted. At least you and I
didn't vote. I wasn't old enough to vote for Bush second term.
Same. I voted for Obama the first time.
I was 17. I remember, dude, it was in boot camp. Like literally, we had to. Those who were old enough to vote, which pretty much everybody, aside from like me and like one other person who was 17 at the time, like they all went to go vote, like in boot camp. And then how we found out was a drone instructor came in and said, and I quote, "This is not me just being. I just want to say the F word or anything. All you fuckers are going to Iraq. Bush won again." And then he left. And I was like, huh. And then like a couple months later, or a year later, I went to Iraq. That's literally it.
I can't lie. That's the time I kind of fell out of politics back then.
And Bush?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did. That was
bad taste in my mouth from politics.
I miss him, the past 4 years, I miss him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. He's now an avid painter. And anyway,
do you guys know like how much money these guys make after?
I don't know what their stipends are or whatever.
Didn't Bush already run like?
No.
Well, Clinton made like millions of dollars off a book.
Well, yeah, his like book deal and stuff. Yeah. I mean, these guys are still working. They still have their.
They don't need to work. They get 200 something thousand a year for the rest of their life, so they have a pension. They also
have their lifestyle is probably that's not enough for whatever lifestyle they got set up for.
But they also have Secret Service for the rest of their life. They also have other things that they no longer need to pay for. So like they literally can just. I mean, Obama no longer has to do squat. I mean, I know he was like out of all the presidents out there, he didn't come from a wealthy family. Like, he's probably the closest to the average American as far as income, financially, than any other president in like decades.
I don't know enough. I can't.
But I don't know. I just saw an article with like how much these presidents make and what what's given to them and how much the taxpayers pay for these presidents for the rest of their lives.
I think there's a lot of things that we pay for that don't make any sense. Like a lot of things, like
no, but I mean, like
helicopter.
Like, oh, dude, that's
yeah.
So does Trump need that? I'm just saying he's beyond.
I mean, let's see if how the state of New York, goes after him. I think the next few months are going to be really interesting.
We're gonna see some new Trump towers around.
I
Do
do
you
know. I
think
mean, like,
his
I think
businesses will still thrive?
I think New
That's a
York
good
is
question.
gonna try to put him in jail. I think it's anyway. That
Whoa.
is a topic for another day.
How do you
And
feel with all the new executive orders that our new current president has implemented or
Oh,
reversed?
man. See,
Do you know any of them?
is
I've
that
heard
next-
some.
Should we do some research and talk about it next week? Is that probably a good one?
Sure. I mean, we can. If you know one, you can name one now for a teaser.
I'm not well
His,
educated.
His
No.
immigration.
You stop the wall build.
Correct.
That's for sure.
Well,
That's
yeah, but and then masks for like the first whatever 100
Every
days
federal
or
employee
something.
needs to wear a
Yeah.
mask. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another. Well, they're all doing already.
Yeah. See,
I don't know.
I haven't
Brought
done
us
real
back
research.
into the Paris Accord or whatever.
Yeah, I heard that actually.
We're back there. And I forgot the rest. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was tired.
I just heard on social media, and I don't really believe that.
too much politics, as Ninja would say.
Yes,
Bada
too much
boom.
politics, not enough Lego.
Bada booey. There we go.
Okay, guys, this was awesome. Next week we're gonna be on Shy's channel.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all of us have a playlist. You can click on any of our videos and watch previous episodes, double time, triple time, whatever makes you feel good.
However you keep up.
And hopefully you enjoy it. And we're here for you guys every week.
If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, definitely put in the comments.
Yeah. Like any Lego topics, non-Lego topics, social issues,
Yes.
favorite recipes, whatever.
This
Whatever.
is AFOLs Anonymous right here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shoot
this
it.
is safe space. Safe space. Even
Is it really though?
if you totally
Is it?
disagree with our politics, still a safe space. We want to hear it.
Are we censoring stuff here?
Well,
What's going on?
I mean, I don't delete anything.
No, I was kidding.
No. I mean, I
Topic.
have deleted some comments before, but just because they were just really bad.
Let's see. I'm not there yet.
And that's what they get.
Yeah,
I'm just like, really?
I like
I'm not
that
dealing
we-
with you.
Yeah,
And
well, you
then
don't
I don't
make your own
exist in
platform. You
my
don't have your own
world.
platform. But yeah.
No. I'm like, I'm not. Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I think next week we could. There's a lot of cool stuff that we could talk about. I'm thinking fame could be kind of interesting and like what that means and do we want it and anyway. But anyway, we'll keep chatting.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That sound
And
good?
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Okay, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.